Sakura Miko of Holo Live. We are here to react to one of her songs today. It is called DAIDAIDAI Fantasista. I have no idea what Fantasista means. I'm sure I'm reading that right. The phonetics. DAIDAIDAI Fantasista. So, look, I have no idea what to expect from this one. But, well, actually, I have a little bit of an idea to what to expect. And so maybe I should tell you why we're checking out this song today. So when it comes to the whole Holo Live thing, I've got to be honest, despite being in Japan, I had never really been someone, obviously big into the music industry here, but I'd never really been big into anime, and thus that I'd never really sort of like paid a huge amount of attention to like the Holo Live VTuber thing. But through our community, through some people who follow our Discord, and through some of the Twitch streams I do, where people have been giving me songs to react to, I'd heard more and more VTuber music, and I was really blown away by how good some of it is, how like really impressive some of it is. And I think the big thing that came across to me is a lot like with the Vocaloid music. You've got a lot of people who are super talented songwriters, and songwriting is something that, to me, songwriting is more important than musicianship. That's the thing I adore. These really amazing songwriters who are basically creating songs all on computer from home. And you know, most of the time, the outlet for those kind of songwriters is doing things for like VTubers or Vocaloid music. A lot of the Hatsune Miku thing that crafted and created a lot of songwriters who came up to do amazing things. So I'm just looking at her face there. I will get on to explaining the Sakura Miko thing because just look at that face. So I had slowly started piecing this together, and then we'd obviously heard, I'm trying to remember the name, recently in Japan, there was a Holo Live song, blue-haired lady, Suisei, her song, the one where it's like the music video cuts from like her animated self to the director and then round. That video got quite popular. We covered that on a Twitch stream. And then recently I did a reaction to the new song from Fubuki, and Fubuki's song was just, I was like, wow, amazing 3D modeled video, really good J-rock song. And it was just like, okay, this Holo Live stuff, they've got some really good songs. In between this as well, I've got to be honest, not to be overly self-indulgent, I had a bit of a rough couple of weeks. Not the best couple of weeks. And when you're feeling a little bit rough, sometimes you spend a little bit too long in the morning, sitting in bed, you watch a couple too many videos. Because I've been checking out some of these Holo Live music videos through Twitch, randomly it suggested that I watch some Holo Live videos, and I started watching some of the content, some Holo Live GTA and various things, and some of it was genuinely quite funny, and I've got to be honest, cheered me up when I was feeling kind of crap. One of the special ones was watching, Sakura Miko here, and I think it was Subaru and Sakura Miko doing the Chain Together challenge. So as a result, I was just like, I'm actually finding a lot of charm in this stuff. I'm enjoying it. It's fun, it's charming, and on top of that, really good songs, good songwriting, this kind of thing. Now, the song that I want to give you a reaction to, I already saw on our Twitch, and I got to be honest, this song, which was Corone, am I getting the name? I'm getting the wrong name, Corone, and Sakura Miko. This song was amazing. We did this on my Twitch recently, and I adore this song. I like this one even more than the Fubuki one. And the Fubuki one was great, but this song was just 100% musically my kind of thing. It was crazy, it was catchy, it had so much interesting stuff happening in the arrangement. I love this. And I'm always honest on this channel, I can't give you a first reaction after I've already reacted to the song on Twitch. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone recorded that Twitch stream, so we don't have a copy of that. I would love to talk about this song with you guys, so if you guys want me at some point to come around and talk about the Sakura Miko and Corone? I know the last hiragana is a nair, so I hope I'm getting that right. If you guys want me to talk about that song, I don't mind coming back and just sort of doing a watch through kind of third or fourth reaction with you guys where we just talk about some of the cool stuff in that video. And I remember the video was full of some really fun stuff as well. So let me know if you want me to come back and do that. But I can't give you a first reaction to that. And I wanted to give you a first reaction to something by Sakura Miko. And as far as I'm aware, I haven't heard a solo Sakura Miko song yet. And given that she seems to be the one who's providing me a lot of the entertainment through some very charming and crazy videos, I would like to see one of her songs. So I tried to pick something that had a fun thumbnail, something that was had quite a few views, so something that's seemingly popular, looks like it's going to be a bit of fun. A couple of people mentioned the title track of her most recent album, Flower Rhapsody. I thought that seems like it might be a bit of a ballad from what I've gathered, and I thought I'll start with something which is maybe a little bit more middle of the road, maybe, and then see if we can go for stuff like ballads and stuff to expand upon that. I'm into all styles of music, but I thought I'll go for something that seems a little bit more the J-pop route. I don't know what to expect, but that's what I gathered so far. I know I've been talking for about 5.5 minutes and we haven't even played, but I thought context was important because it's been a really interesting ride I've been on this sort of stuff. And like I said, if you'd asked me like 3 months ago, will I be reacting to HoloLive music videos? I mean, I wouldn't have even known that stuff like that, say video that I'd covered, I wouldn't have even known that was a HoloLive video. I thought she was like one of those singers, like sort of the Ado kind of thing. Like a talented J-pop singer who just doesn't show her face, so she has animated music videos. I had no connection between that being a HoloLive thing. So yeah, if you didn't tell me 3 months ago I'd have been taking this particular journey, I wouldn't have believed you. Or at least I would have been very surprised. So let's dive in all the way. Sakura MIKO DAIDAIDAI Fantasista. As always, we're honest on this channel. Hope we're going to have some good quality, crazy Sakura MIKO here. Let's go. Oh, I really hope that this piano refrain continues. I think I'm going to enjoy this. Ooh, I love that little acoustic break there. Lo-fi, cool. That production trick with the background was really cool though. Nice little rhythm change. They love doing this in the pre-choruses, don't they? Ooh, nice. It's a really good chorus. It's very old school though. I don't like that about it. I like that a lot. Oh, the detail! So much stuff happening. Oh, the saxophone! Oh. As someone who loves songwriting, this is just gorgeous. Listen to that bass line, the backing vocals. Just the bell sound comes in, the guitar, there's so much happening. Why not have a bit of, I think it's a trombone or trumpet, I don't know which one it was, but that was just the brass moment, it was great. This is really like, this is so fulfilling. Great chorus, great layered sound. You know, I come from this as someone who just, songwriting is my meat and veg. That's what my day-to-day is. And this fulfills that hunger so well. Beautiful. I'll be honest with you, like, I mean, when I went into this, my biggest fear clicking on this was like, okay, I've been enjoying what I've been watching. I've liked her personality a lot, but it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate into a good song. I had no real reference for what kind of music she likes doing anyway. I was like, oh no, am I going to like this? I hope I'm going to like it. I hope, because I was like, I don't want to struggle through a video where I'm like having to try. This, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. And there's so many reasons why that I need to break into. Now, first things first, this is where we get this interesting barrier, because obviously the whole thing we're talking about the HoloLive stuff anyways, VTuber stuff, you know, that's kind of the approach. And I think a lot of the time when you're talking to people who are big music fans, they're going to look at this kind of thing, especially if it's got a bright poppy sound. And there's some people who they just hear bright poppy and they see the animation and they think, oh, this isn't serious music. This is just playful sort of poppy, silly music. It's like, you gotta scrap that and you gotta just listen to what is actually happening, because this is what I mean when I talk about those songs that get written by like the VTube writers who come up through the Vocaloid school of artistry, who they write on the computer, but they think about music in that way. They are talented people who, and I don't know the person who wrote this, but obviously I'm working a bit on that assumption. And you know, so many of these writers, they're the sort of people where, you know, you get the sheet of paper, the screen in front of them, and they just craft these sounds where it's just so many layers of things going on, because they're not thinking about who's in the band. They're thinking about what sound do I want to put in now. And that's how this song feels. Just the sounds are popping in everywhere. It's somewhere between writing and production. But anyway, let's break down a couple of things that happen in here with really cool moments. So from the get-go, I love that little sort of ragtime piano thing that begins the song. We start off with this really... I was actually thinking, is that going to be like the core of the song? Is that going to be a loop that goes round? This kind of... I thought that could be fun, because there's some songs that have that kind of crazy piano in the middle and you drop a beat underneath that and you get like a really cool sort of funky, maybe a bit of a hip-hop piano vibe going on. That's kind of where the first few seconds had me thinking it was going to go, and then suddenly it changed. Please call Elite. And, you know, when we come into this bit, this is a rather interesting moment, because it kind of feels like, oh, okay, we've just switched back to very traditional J-pop kind of sounds. You know, brass band in the background, a little bit of a build-up, a little bit of drama, but it's basically a contemporary guitar, bass, drums, and a bit of brass. I gotta be honest, I really love that sound palette. Anything ripped from that sound palette, I'm probably going to enjoy it. I've always liked pop songs that have, you know, real instruments, but also, you know, especially if you add a bit of brass for accenting the big notes, that always works really well. But still, I was like, okay, we're going to go for a traditional J-pop song. Then we start that first verse, and the production's really cool, because the whole backing kind of gets turned into this sort of tinny radio sound. And actually, I didn't notice the piano comes back in. And that's nice, because you can kind of, your ears are being informed of all the playful things a song wants to do, but just by sort of like, you're lowering the range of frequencies, it's kind of holding back. It's like, oh, we got all these presents for you, but we're going to keep them in this little range. We're not going to quite open them yet. And then everything kicks in. Simple. Nothing's changed, but suddenly you feel like, you know, you had a good indication of what was coming, and then bam, starts paying off. Really like that. So the song at this point is kind of like, again, it's just doing a good job of taking those fun aspects, but making everything feel fresh and exciting as it goes. We get the build up where you go through the pre-chorus, there's a little bit of a change of rhythm, and then when the chorus comes, I gotta be honest, I was enjoying all of the build up and all the playful sounds that were happening already, that I must admit that when the chorus happened, it almost caught me by surprise. I was just enjoying I mean, usually when I'm listening to songs like this, I'm waiting for it like, oh, good build up. Let's wait for the chorus. Is it going to pay it off with something big and memorable? This was just having so much fun. I was just enjoying myself. And then the chorus arrived. I was like, yay, chorus. Like that little bit, just that stop, and then just, it only happens one time in the song as far as where, love that. Just a little bit of thought. Put something clever like that in there. Great chorus. Again, kind of old school J-pop chorus. You know, it's the sort of thing, if you're into J-pop, you've heard this kind of chorus a million times before, but it works. And it's the two things that stop it. If a chorus is doing, if any part of the song is doing something you've heard before, the important things that can stop it sounding overly tired is one, personality, which of course is one of the great things when you're working with like Holo Live and VTubers. You're starting with personality in shed loads. That's something that you are not lacking for. So immediately you got the Sakura Miko personality, which is already bleeding through in the video, that comes through in the vocals, and you get a feeling of freshness to it. And the other thing as well is just making sure the arrangement's good, making sure you do everything with a little bit of a spark of sound of enthusiasm. And again, I like the fact that this song is so full of little sounds and it's so well recorded, good budget obviously, you can just feel the enthusiasm bursting through. Sorry, bursting out of me. In every single facet. So really love that side of it as well. Now this is where Miko really comes in. Got her name wrong. Miko really comes in her own, into her own here, because again, the personalities. Now she's got one of those slightly higher voices, and again, I'm going to go back to something similar to what I said before about how, you know, some people can sometimes, they have a barrier when they see animated music or when they hear like something poppy and they're like, oh, that's not real music. Some people do this as well with higher pitched voices, and you shouldn't do that as well. I mean, I've said this about, you get everything from like Silent Siren to Yabai t-shirts, you're saying there are a lot of bands that have higher pitched voices, and higher pitched voices don't mean, the association with thin is a mistake. Because, I mean, if you want to look at it on a purely scientific level, as I've argued this a million times before, the higher pitched the voice is, the more waves there are, the more intricate the waveform of the singer's voice is. A lower pitched voice is going to be a lower waveform. It's just scientifically true, folks. But, I mean, obviously, you can add personality to anything, but higher register singers, one of the biggest benefits is that because their voice is higher up in the frequency, it means the music has more, like, room underneath to have more different sounds mixed in. You tend to get fuller arrangements. People with lower voices, their voice tends to end up sitting a lot with a lot of the instruments, and it's a bit more messy in my opinion. So I think her voice sits perfectly on top of this song because you've got so much going on, and then her voice, the thing that you're listening to, sort of glides beautifully over the top, and she's got that la 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 la, that little punch in her voice, which is perfect. And I think she does have character to her voice. I mean, of course, again, the VTuber thing, you're expected to have character in your performance, and that comes across well here. The one thing that really struck me, now when I was listening to, and this came across when I was listening to that last song as well, that she did with Corona? If I'm getting that wrong every single time, there's going to be a lot of people killing me in the comments already. Get in the comments, tell me how angry you are if I'm wrong, or how happy you are if I'm right. She's cool as well, by the way. But in that particular song, this song, as much as I loved it, it was reminding me of something. Every time I heard it, it reminded me of another song, and I was trying to work out what it was. And then suddenly it struck me. It was by Anna. I think it was the last single from her debut album, which obviously was only last year. But it was the big title track with the nyan nyan bleh. And there was a lot of musical similarities between this song and that song. Yeah, not enough to make it sound like a copy, but there were certain melodic phrases and things that were clearly in both of the songs. And I suddenly realized that Anna and Sakura Miko, so used to saying Miku, I keep on saying Miku, but Miko, Sakura Miko and Anna actually have very similar voices, both in the register and in just a little bit of rasp they used to give it character. So definitely a similarity there. And that came across when I was listening to this, because my brain was almost prepped for that. So when I listened to the chorus here, I got a bit of an Anna vibe, but in a good way. Again, doesn't feel like a ripoff, just it reminds me of what I like about Anna's singing. So if you listen to it here, close your eyes and just imagine someone told you this was an Anna song. You see what I mean? It's not, it might not be exactly the same, but it definitely has a similar quality. So anyway, there you go. Those are my thoughts on this. I did notice there were some cool references in here. I've watched enough Sakura Miko videos now that I'm actually starting to get references. So like the house burning down, I know that's a Minecraft thing, and yeah, it's even done in like a sort of pixely looking house. So there you go. I'm starting to recognize stuff. But anyway, tell me what you think. If you guys want me to go back and do a retrospective on this video, let me know. It's not going to be a first reaction, just being honest with you, but I would be very glad to talk about that video because I absolutely adored that video. I thought it was great. Love this. Want to check out more by both Sakura Miko and other Hololive singers. Obviously, I'm going to be focusing on their original songs. Covers are a little bit harder to really get much from, but maybe in the future, if I've listened to a lot more of the original stuff, then I'll go back and cover some of the covers as well. But let me know what you think. Did you enjoy this song? If you're not a Hololive person, thank you for watching as well, and tell me if you enjoyed the song too. I love the fact we've got such a range of different music fans, everyone from metalheads through to through to Idol fans, to Hololive fans, to just sort of simple pop rockers. We've got everyone in this community, and I really love they come together and enjoy music together. So tell me what you thought about this, whatever your background. If you know more than me, give me more information. If you know less than I do, or the same amount, tell me what you thought about this. And until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one, Lees. For now, leaving it on that sad frame. Ciao, ciao.